now we're just going to kind of go through and take a little bit closer look at each of the terms here. So we're going to start with Exworks, or the, I guess, X terms. Always insert your named place of delivery. So this is going to be where you have the most control. Yep. You have all the control, basically. The seller's obligations are really just to complete the goods as promised, package the goods, create the commercial invoice, do their quality control checks, make sure all your country of origin markings are on your goods, and then make them available at the named place. And then loading is not required by the seller, but it can be specified. And then, you know, once again, you really have all of the control. All the risk is on you. And this is one that if you really want to have all the control, you can, but there's things to keep in mind with Exworks.
Most definitely. And, you know, one thing with the loading, you know, at the end of the day, I think a lot of time if you show up with a truck, your seller is going to get it loaded. I haven't seen too many issues where we've shown up with a truck on an Exworks term where the guy says, well, you got to hire some forklift driver to come here in my premises, but hey, make it specific like we mentioned. The one areas where we probably not recommend Exworks is where you have some countries where there's a little instability, any political turmoil. I would recommend you stay away from doing Exworks in those areas. And I'd also recommend you stay away from doing Exworks in countries where the export clearance process isn't just, it's not clear, or it's not, I would say it's not easy. If it takes several days and it's a real paper-driven process, I'd stay away from it. There might be some things in there you don't want to find out about. Countries such as Brazil and Russia, those are areas I probably recommend you'd stay away from the Exworks term, because at the end of the day, you're going to be responsible to get the cargo cleared for exportation.
So when would you recommend using Exworks for a shipment? Are there specific regions, or when you say that there's risk involved, what are those risks?
Well, the risks are if something goes wrong, it's down to you to fix it. If there's damage, if there's something falls off a ship or something like that, you're on the hook for the risk.
And risks of navigating a foreign country's clearance requirements.
Yeah, so if there's a delay in export clearance and now you're sitting at an airport somewhere, or a warehouse near the airport, and for some reason there's some issues going on there's a strike over there, and now it's sitting at 2 weeks, 3 weeks at an airport warehouse for clearance, guess who's paying the cost for those storage charges, which probably aren't cheap? It's you as the buyer, on an Exworks term.
Are there certain regions that you would suggest Exworks, or that maybe use Exworks a little bit more than others?
Yeah, we see Exworks more out of European countries. China's more of an F-term market, but we definitely see more and more Exworks too out of there. Such volume coming out of there that's, it's not a big risk, I would say. But those are the two main areas or regions that we see Exworks terms. I mean, even out of India, I see it pretty commonly.
On an Exworks shipment, who's responsible to provide the SLI or file the AES?
Okay, so now we're talking exports from the States. At the end of the day, on an Exworks term coming out of the United States, the buyer, which is a routed export transaction, the buyer on a routed export transaction is responsible to authorize their chosen forwarder to file the AES. However, the shipper is still responsible to provide the buyer's forwarder with many data elements listed on the SLI. But technically, the seller is not required to provide an SLI to the forwarder that their buyer has chosen. At the end of the day, the forwarder needs the shipper's or buyer's authorization to file the AES. The forwarder needs it from somebody. The issue that we run into as forwarders is that the buyers overseas don't know that. So, they're buying it on, and you're selling on an Exworks term, but they don't know that they have to give a power of attorney or a shipper's letter of instruction to somebody in the States. It's just, they're not informed of that. So at the end of the day, what winds up happening in a lot of cases is the forwarders are sending the SLI to the shippers, to expedite the shipment and just get things moving.
as the seller, is there a downside to Exworks?
Yes, there is, I'd say. Number one, you might be dealing with a different folder every week because your customer's going with the cheap and cheerful one for the week. And then plus, if you are then filling out an SLI and you're not controlling the export information that you're sending to customs yourself, it doesn't matter which forwarder is filing for you. If they do it wrong, it's your problem. You are the USPPI. So we recommend that if you're using an Exwork term, okay, and you're going to have all these other forwarders that might be doing it, or maybe it's just one forwarder, but get the export data, have them send what they've transmitted, to customs to you so you can verify it's accurate. That's the best practice. And, if you're doing that and your license determination information is sound, that's a good practice to abide by.